The Lord our God is almighty and all-powerful. We may not know this, but we're actually disregarding this very statement for the most part, even if we don't realize it. You see, in John chapter 15, verse 4, Jesus says, "Abide in me, and I will abide in you. For a branch cannot produce its fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me." See here, Jesus is telling us to abide in him. What does abiding in Jesus look like, though? To answer that simply, it is to trust in him. You see, too often we say to ourselves, how can I trust God more? When really we should be asking, why am I worried about this? And in this passage, Jesus tells us two things that will happen when we abide in him and when we trust in him. The first thing is that he too will abide in us. See, when we abide in God, he will also abide in us. Jesus says that we cannot bear the fruit of our own labor without him with us. Sure, we can make disciples. What good is it when we ourselves don't believe? The second thing is that Jesus says to remain in him. Abiding in Jesus isn't a one-time thing where we would just be with God. God is a person, and we maintain that relationship with him just like with any other person. But that isn't to say that God is a strict God, because he's not. God saved us so we can have relationship with him and him with us, not the opposite way around. Okay, but what does this mean, right? God is highlighting the fact that you can trust in him with anything. Always abide first in the Lord. Never leave him as a last resort. He should be your go-to in any situation you feel worried or fearful about. Because soon enough, you may still feel worried, yes, but at least you can be sure and never be afraid of anything that may come your way, because we have a God to help us and help comfort us and give us guidance along the way.